Hare Krishna. Please accept my namaskar. Humble obeisances to all of you. So, I would like to welcome everybody to this session of discussion of Bhagavad Gita. So, today we are going to discuss from Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter. So, we will discuss today 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So, these verses we will discuss. So, the topic is the purificatory process. Yes. So, it is necessary to reach the ultimate goal of life. So, we all have different types of goal. सभी का लक्ष्य अलग अलग है. Yes. So many goals are there. So, practically if we will say someone who wants to be professionally like engineer, doctor, astronaut, scientist, lawyer, teacher, there are so many varieties of occupations are there. So, because this chapter is entitled as Karma Yoga, so Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, na karmanam anarambhat naiskarmyam purusa asnute. Karmana means the prescribed duties, which is prescribed. So, you better understand the prescriptions. Generally, when you go to a doctor, the doctor prescribes us the medicines. Same way, here it is said the karmana means the prescribed duties. There are 3 types of karmas are there: karma, bikarma, then akarma. So, karma means those activities which are prescribed in the scriptures, prescribed by the states, they are prescribed by the nation. Karmanam anarambhat. Anarambhat is someone is not starting it. Yeah, it is called non-performance. It is called also naiskarmya, freedom from reaction. Okay. Purusa asnute. So, it is said that merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction. No, it is not possible to get free from the reaction of activities by just not involved in that activities. As for example, sometimes a person who is not involved in the crime, but that person is also considered as a criminal because if his intention was there, अगर उसमें उसने कुछ पार्टिसिपेट किया था तो सेम वे जस्ट बाय रिनाउंसिएशन न च संन्यासन ना देव एव सिद्धिम समाधिम अधिगते. Just by taking sannyas. What is the meaning of sannyas? So generally you can see the sannyasis in India. Sannyasis. There are so many different types of sannyasis are there. Like the groups are there, like ekadandi, tridandi. Ekadandi, someone has one danda, rod, sannyas danda. Tridandi, there are 3 dandas are there. Tridandi sannyasis. The Vaishnavas are tridandi sannyasis. So there is also Mayavadi sannyasis, those who ekadanda means it is a sign that we can become God after some time. Ekadanda, yes, ek danda hai uske paas. So here it is said, just by taking sannyas. In Shankar Sampradaya, there are 10 different types of sannyas are there. I already mentioned it in my previous lectures that there is Saraswati, Bharati, Puri, Giri, Vana, Aranya, Tirtha, Parvata. These are type of the sannyasis titles are there. Yes. So, sannyas, by accepting sannyas, sannyas means this is the highest order of the our varnashrama system. First is like brahmachari. Brahmachari with the students, celebrates. Then who is entering grihastha ashrama? Then there is vanaprastha ashrama. Then there is sannyas ashrama. So here when Shankaracharya he preached, that time he said that unless and until you accept sannyas, you cannot get actually renounce, you cannot free from this material world. You cannot get success. Yeah, you cannot, get samadhi. trance. It is not possible. So sometimes it is empirical philosophers. They adopt sannyas or retiring from fruitive activities. A sannyasi means he is not supposed to cook for himself also. Yes, he should actually go for preaching, and what the peoples provide, yeah, they gave to that sannyasi, he accepted it. You know? So that's why they adopt sannyas and they retire from fruitive activities. So and they think that we will become as good as Narayan. हम नारायण बन जाएंगे. Namo Narayana. You can become Narayana. Yesterday, some of the groups, the blood donation camp was there. You know, those who will donate blood, they will become like Narayan. That lady was announcing. And some people think, very, very nice, we will become Narayan. This is the benefit. Some of the people came to me and they were asking, what is the benefits? What is the punya we will achieve by donating blood? I said, if you are going to donate that blood, if that blood is used, yeah, it is used for a person, if that person is working for the society, for the betterment of the society, then you will get much more benefit. But if just you gave the donations, like limb transplantation is now going on, some people are donating eyes, some people are donating their heart, kidney, you know, so many things people are nowadays donating. So these donations only is actually, you will get the benefit when it is used in a proper place, proper person. So, but Krishna does not approve these principles, because Arjuna was trying to quit his activities, quit his job, and he wants to pursue a life of a sannyasi. So that's why we are not recommending. As a brahmachari guru kude basandantam guru hitam. A brahmachari stay in the guru ashrama for the for to help the spiritual master. For guru hitam. So that's why here it is said. So without this purification of heart, suppose a person just he renounced this material world, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he reached Puri, that time Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was a very old person, 80 years old, he is very knowledgeable person, very great scholar, he was teaching the sannyasis. When he found that Chaitanya, who is just only 24 years old, so he thought, let me to teach, let me to upgrade Chaitanya from the Bharati Sampradaya to the Saraswati Sampradaya. So that's why, because he was thinking, if you like, I will not teach him the rules and regulations for a sannyasi to follow, then maybe he deviated from his path. So that's why here it is said, sannyas simply disturb. If such sannyasis are there, like Indra, when he came to steal the horses which was meant for the sacrifice in Prithu Maharaj Yajna, that time Indra came in a disguised form, in different, he accepted different accept of sannyas order. And Prithu Maharaj's son, whose name was Vijitasva, he actually, that time Bhrigu Muni said, this is Indra, this is, please recognize this is Indra. And he came for to create disturbance in this yajna. So that's why such type of sannyas sometimes create disturbances in the society. Yes. In 1972, there is a very great personality, very great person in India who propounded new religion, that was Navanirman sannyasi. Oh, that person, Sambhog se Samadhi, you know his name, I don't want to call his name. People sometimes create some disturbance in the society by doing this. So easily, so that's why whatever a sannyasi do, it is actually to advance in spiritual life. That is called Buddhi Yoga. So that's why Krishna said in 2nd chapter, Salpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna says, even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties. Then one may ask a question. Yes, sannyasis, they don't do any activities. How is it possible that without activities one can live? So Krishna said, Nahi kaschit khanamapi. Kaschit means anyone. Nahi kaschit Kshanapapi a movement. Kshana means a movement. Jatu tishtati akarmakrita. Without doing something, one can remain. Tishtati. One cannot remain not doing anything. One has to, karyate hi avasaha karma. He is doing his activities forcefully, sarva prakriti jai gune, by the material modes of nature. So we can have desires. Yes. We have desires. That desires in Paramatma, Lord Krishna is residing in our heart. Paramatma form. Yes, Paramatma form Krishna. Here what he does? Krishna says, yeah, Krishna stays in our heart. He knows better what we deserve. Sometimes we are crying for, let me to achieve this, let me to have this, I want this. But Krishna says, no, Baba, you don't deserve this. So if you are deserve, then Krishna instructs the material nature, yes, this person wants it. Please supply, then material nature gives us. So sarva prakriti jai gune. Although we are thinking we are the doer, we are actually doing it, we think like that. But reality, we don't have that. Muhammad Ali, he was a big boxer. Yes, Muhammad Ali, always when he actually goes to the ring, he says, I am the greatest Ali. But later, in his old age, he was affected with one disease, that is Parkinson. Due to that disease, that person could not lift one cup of tea also, one cup of glass also, one glass of water also. So that time Muhammad Ali said, yes, I am that greatest fool number one Ali. So like that. So that's why here, therefore no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Everyone is doing this thing. That's why Krishna says, so the body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spiritual. This body is just a dead body. But because the presence of soul is there, that the soul is instructing, guiding, permitting us, do this. Yes, the spiritual has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. There are two sides of work. One is good, one is bad. So हम good काम तो करना चाहिए ना. So otherwise it will be engaged in occupation dedicated by the illusory energy, Maya. মিছে মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে খাচ্ছ হাবু ডুবু ভাই. So in the road there are so many jerking, so many humps are there. So when you drive the vehicle, that time you need to brake, you need to go slow, like that, no? Same way, Maya actually engages in all sorts of different activities. So in contact with the material energy, the spiritual soul acquires material modes. And to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties. Yes. So that's why here in Srimad Bhagavatam it says, Tvaktva swadharma charanam bhuja hare. If someone has quit his job, the material activities, and charanam bhujam hare, who has accepted the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, grab hold, पकड़ के रखा है भगवान का, भगवान आपका मैं हूं, भजन अपको. If that person is engaging himself in the devotional activities, apakwa, but this is not actually he's achieved the highest standard, highest position. Bhajana apakwa athapate tato adi, if he falls down, yatra ko abhadram abhut amusya kim ko vartho apto bhajatam swadharmata. It is said, if someone may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastras, Smriti, Shruti, Purana, Adi, Pancharatrika, Vidhim, Mina, all these things are prescribed. Srila Prabhupada says, if in our temple, the Pancharatrika Vidhi we are following, and according to the Vidhi we are doing worship. If any people will come, anyone comes and he will tell, no, this is my procedure, please accept it, this follow it. Let's do in our own ways. Then it will make some disturbances. It will bring some chaos. So that's why nowadays people they are trying to manufacture something, they are trying to implement something according to their own nature. So that vidhim bina. So that's why vidhi, shastra. If someone is executing the devotional service, but he is not following in 100%, even though he may fall down from the standard, there is no loss or no avail. There is no loss. Suppose if he carries out all the injunctions for the purification shastras, what does it avail him if he is not a Krishna conscious person? If someone is not Krishna conscious, someone is not following, just he is following his mind, mano rathena dhāvatavi, he is going here and there, what the mind detects, man jo bol raha hai, kar raha hai, then he will not get anything. So that's why this purificatory process is necessary for like such accepting sannyas. Nowadays also sannyas varjit. Sannyas is not actually the order to be followed in Kali Yuga, because it is very hard to follow the rules and regulations. But still, Krishna here says, 6th number verse, Krishna says, karmendriyani sayamya yah aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyasara sanuichyate. So here it is said karma indriyani. So we have 5 working senses are there and 5 knowledge acquiring senses are there. So here karma indriyani, those working senses. Sayam, someone is controlled. Someone has controlled the working senses. Suppose hand को मैंने control किया, legs को भी control किया. Suppose I have controlled my genitals, rectum. ये सारे मैंने these are all in control. So if these are in control, yaha aste manasa smaram, if someone is thinking in his mind. So in general in Kali Yuga, there is no such hard and fast rule, because in Kali Yuga our mind situation या condition is very old, very dangerous. What we are thinking, what we are doing, we know it. So many bad thoughts comes in our mind. So many. Every day 5 to 6,000 thoughts comes to mind. Yes. Itne sare. People morning to evening, you will just note down how many thoughts. You can check so many millions and trillions of thoughts comes. So here it is said, Iha aste manasa smaran, if someone has controlled his senses, but in his mind he is thinking. Indriyarthan, the sense objects. Vimudha atma, that person is actually not known about the spirituality. Vimudha atma mithyachara, he is a pretender, he is pretending. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, because Arjuna, if he would accept this process of sannyas, generally Kshatriya should not follow this process to accept sannyas. But Arjuna was trying to, he was telling to Krishna that I don't want to follow. मैं करना नहीं चाहता. So Krishna said that he is called a mithyachar. So that's why there are many pretenders who refuse to work in Krishna consciousness, but make a show of meditations. Once one of our friend, Mr. Joshi, he is very 80 years old. He told me he used to visit one place in Borivali. There is a Dhyana Kendra. So in that Dhyana Kendra, the managers are those people who are managing that Dhyana Kendra. If you will go there, they will provide you tea. They will provide you some mats, yoga mat, or some like gaddi, and they say that you go to some corner place and sit there and do meditation. That person was telling his realization that he was, although trying to do it, sometimes he falls asleep, sometimes he was sleeping, sometimes he could not focus his mind upon some objects. That happened. So that's why so actually dwelling in the mind upon sense enjoyment. Visaya chadiya kabe suddha habe man kabe ham heriva Sri Vrindavan. Visaya means the inclination to enjoy the sense object, still it is in our mind. Don't think that it is so easy to leave this. No, it is not so easy. So that's why such pretenders may also speak sometimes dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers. People say, oh, our Guru Maharaj is speaking so nice English. Nowadays, some people, so students are Youth for Truth program. They are very much, so many students are hearing these programs. Oh, they are fan of that Guru. These are only bluffing. They are only bluffing. Because, but according to this verse, there are greatest cheaters. So Srila Prabhupada says, this world means some people are cheating, some people are going to be cheated. So that's why, but if one follows the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual process. Yes, there is a process, gradual process. Don't be, don't be so much afraid for it. Yes. So that's why, who makes a show of being a yogi while actually searching for the object sense gratification must be called the greatest cheater, even though he sometimes speaks of philosophy. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, that's why he actually condemns. Here he is actually helping us to understand that how the yogis, those who are going to a secluded place to pretend to chant the mantras, to do meditation, to get some what? Some people comes and glorify. One should not be so make some showcase. Yes. So that's why, because the effects of sinful man's knowledge are taken away by the illusory of the Lord, such a pretender's mind is always impure. So that's why now here it is said, on the other hand, if someone is not a pretender, yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna कर्मेंद्रिय कर्म योग असक्त से विशिष्यते. असक्त मतलब unattached. Yes, without any attachment. If a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga, it is said that manasa niyamya aravate arjuna. By the active sense, niyamya aravate, he begins to do some service. Yes, although in the initial stage, sometimes the brahmacharis come, the people comes, they says, we are very much now struggling to overcome this situation. बहुत सारे समय हमको समस्या होती है, how to progress in devotional life, how to do it in a better way. बहुत सारे लोग, if it is yastu indriyani manasa, mind is the supervisor. Mind is the supervisor. That's why mind, if you will control the mind, then all the senses, then again automatically it is because the under of the mind, that's why they come to control. So here it is said, karmendriyana, karma yoga. How? Karma yoga asaktaha. Two things is that, asaktaha, asaktaha. Asakta means attached. Asakta means not attached. मतलब आसक्ति अनासक्ति, ऐसा English means there was a small difference is there. Little bit pronunciation will do, change the pronunciation, the complete words, and the meaning changed in Sanskrit. ये संस्कृत का significance of Sanskrit, ये संस्कृत का खासियत है. So that's why without attachment he is by far superior. Krishna actually emphasized this point many times in Bhagavad Gita, many times, that how to be an unattached person and work. So that's why here it is said, Krishna is actually emphasizing, don't be a pseudo transcendentalist for the sake of living, wanton living and sense enjoyment. It is better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life. It does not mean one should not go to the temple. It does not mean one should not do worship. It does not mean one should not read the Bhagavad. No. One has to do all this. Karma yoga means acting in Krishna consciousness. It means whatever you are doing, do it in such a way that always you should remind yourself, just remember Krishna. Yena kena prakarena Krishna mana nivasaya. In any ways, you just try to focus your mind, to engage your mind in Krishna conscious activities. So that's why, in the other hand, people sometimes, nateh vidu swartha gati mihi Vishnu, people don't know what to do. Swartha gatim, the swartha's interest is to please Vishnu, but they don't know. So that's why the whole institution of Varna and Ashrama, Varna means 4 Varna is there, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Ashrama means Brahmachari, then Grihastha, Vanaprastha and sannyas. So this four varna ashram is designed to help us to reach this goal of life. That's why design. Chaturvarna maya srushtam guna karma vibhagasa tan kartaram apimam. Krishna says, I have made it, I have designed it. But people sometimes say, oh, kyun Krishna designed kya? Why Krishna designed it? So Krishna designed it to help us reach the goal of life. So a householder can also reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life. So that's why controlled life means sometimes people say, why there is a control? Why there is a blockage? Why they are insisting us to follow it? Because in the road, sometimes you see there is a precautions, plates are there, caution pastes, where it is said, slow drive, don't, play your horn. So there are so many signs are there. Why? Signs are there. You are proper in your brain, your eyes are in proper, aankh bhi theek hai, you are in, mood is also good. Then why there is a caution? Because just to make awareness, just to help you, just to make you alert that yes, the danger is in ahead, so be careful. So like that. So for self-realization, one can live a controlled life, and in that way one can progress. So a sincere person who follows this message is better situated than the false pretender. So that's a niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jeyo hi akarmana sarire yatrapi chatena na prasiddhyat akarmana. Krishna says, niyata kuru karma, you do your prescribed duties. Karmatvam karma jehi akarmana. So for doing so is better than not working. So sometimes people say, sometimes out of frustration, because the material world, people are so much struggling, they are working, sometimes they are losing their job, sometimes they are expelled from their organization, sometimes they are baffled. Parishram karte karte, the foams come out from their, what? From their mouth. Just imagine. That is the condition of the material existence. So sometimes people say, this material world is so much suffering. When I will die, means later I will be shunyabad, means everything will be zero. Let me to sleep, rest in peace, RIP. So here it is said, perform your prescribed duty in an unattached way, not an attached way. And one cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. It will not work. It is not possible to maintain your physical body. But sometimes we see Krishna maintains us. Rakhyasi iti vishwaso gotrupte varanam tatha. So what to do? To do devotional services. To do always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So there are many pseudo meditators who misrepresent themselves as belonging to high parentage, great professional men, also who false pose that they have sacrificed anything for the sake of the advancement in spiritual life. But Lord Krishna did not want, yes, Arjuna to become a pretender. Krishna never wants his devotee to be a pretender. Krishna, that's why Srila Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness movement in all over the world, that people should come and do something for the pleasure of the Lord Krishna. Do something. Is that the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement? So that's why Arjuna was a householder and a military general, that it was better for him to remain in such, remain as such and perform his religious duties as prescribed for the householder or Kshatriya. So we all have different activities. The purificatory process is that when we follow the prescribed duties meant for us. So that's a simply meditation, simply philosophy, simply so-called, as a spiritualist is not helpful, Grihe thako bane thako, sada hari bole dako, sukhe dukhe bhulo nako, badne hari naam loy re. So wherever you are, whatever your position, situations, conditions, Please chant the holy name of Krishna. Please chant the holy name of Krishna. And that's why niyata kuru karmatvam. You just do your prescribed duties. So what should not be given up capriciously without purification of materialistic propensities. So anyone who is in this material world is certainly possessed of the impure propensity for lording it over material. Everyone is trying to enjoy. Everyone is trying to grab the property of other countries. Recently, Russian President Vladimir Putin, they used the USSR T-shirt logo. So some people said that what is going on in Russia? Why they are again? Because in 1991 the Russian Federation was collapsed. When it was 1922, that time it was established. So they said that last 1000 years their ancestors fought for those lands, but they lose all those lands. Yes, they lose all those lands. So they say that no, we want to remember that we have a greater Russia. We are under the Russian federations. So like that, no, people try to lord it over. People wants all these things under them, under their jurisdictions. But here it is said, so that unless and until one is purified in his heart, he should not take sannyas, because the Arjuna's plan to take sannyas was now, Krishna is now helping Arjuna to understand that what is actually meant for sannyas, what he should do. So there are so many lessons, so many teachings, so many, we can learn from Bhagavad Gita. So that's why thank you very much for hearing my lecture. So I hope you all understand this verse. Thank you very much. If you have any questions here in your, then you can put it in the comment section, that I will try my best to give the answer. Thank you very much. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki joy, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.